What If 3, Season 3, we see that a lot of details are explained again with this episode. They talked about important things, especially regarding what happened to Tony Stark's family. Generally, this episode focused on the events that took place between the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian. I wish there was an episode about Stark's family surviving. Despite this, the episode still offered interesting insights, because if his family hadn't died, Stark's life would have been very different, and maybe even a narcissistic person like Spider-Man would have emerged. But in the episode we have now, we still watched an average story as interesting information was given. Of course, I'll talk about all the details related to the episode, friends, but before we start, if you're new to the channel and don't want to miss out on the content, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. If you're someone who's familiar with Marvel films, you probably already know that the Red Room and Hydra are working together. On December 16, 1991, Hydra learned from information provided by Obadiah Stane that Howard Stark had super soldier serum vials in his possession. They woke up the Winter Soldier, who was in sleep mode, and sent him on a small mission. The mission was to steal the super soldier serum vials and in return to kill Howard Stark. Of course, until this episode aired, no one knew who had snitched on Howard Stark's location. However, Obadiah Stane, one of the founders of Stark Industries, made such a collaboration to get rid of Howard. In the first Iron Man movie, he had already made a deal with the Ten Rings to get rid of Tony Stark and take over the company. In fact, he had sold them a ton of weapons in return for this deal. Obadiah Stane became the CEO of the company right after Howard died. However, when Tony took over the company, Obadiah faded back into the background. So, this Lovuk was the biggest enemy of Stark's family and was actually the one responsible for the death of Stark's family. Tony Stark died without knowing this truth, but fortunately he killed Obadiah Stane before he died.
Never had a taste for this sort of thing, but I must admit, I'm deeply enjoying the suit.
One person's actions caused most film events. If caught early, outcomes could differ. No Civil War, maybe no Iron Man. And just imagine if this person had been caught right from the start, who knows what could have happened. There wouldn't have been a Civil War and maybe Iron Man would have never even existed. These continents are filled with people's white wings, empty and in garbage collector chairs. Is the beetroot jar as risky, I wonder? However, since we saw you leave at the end of the episode, we will see that certain other events happened. Although the main focus of the episode seems to be on the Winter Soldier and Red Guardian, they actually paid more attention to other details. Now, the character we call the Winter Soldier was an assassin enhanced with the super soldier serum and used a titanium colt. The character we call Red Guardian was an idiot who used the super soldier serum developed by the Russians. So it is worth mentioning that they unquestionably chose this man simply because he was stupid and obedient. Red Guardian was an extremely powerful character and even had a lot of successes in the film. After preventing Howard Stark's assassination, Bill Foster went after these. The guy we call Bill Foster appeared in the Ant-Man and the Wasp film. He was also working with Hank, but instead of becoming Ant-Man, he transformed into a giant human known as Giant Man or Goliath. Hank Pym had already made it possible for Ant-Man to be larger than his normal form with the systems he would add later on. Bill Foster's role in 1991 and his pursuit of super soldiers was certainly one of the details that added color to the episode. This event in 1991 essentially meant that Natasha and Yelena grew up without the Red Guardian. Because Red Guardian had said he didn't want to go to Ohio, and even in the film he didn't want to play a father figure to the girls raised in the Red Room. The Black Widow film takes place in 1995. So even though Red Guardian was shown joining the 2012 Avengers team at the end of the movie, there were actually certain illogical details. Yes, in this universe Natasha wasn't raised by Red Guardian, and she might have been raised by Marina instead. However, both Iron Man's family survived, and his greatest enemy, Obadiah Stane, who led him down this path, was killed. So it seems like they exaggerated a bit when putting in that last scene, right? On top of all this, Red Guardian is a character who is a bit too old to join the Avengers. Also, if it weren't for Red Guardian, Natasha would most likely have been captured and would never have gone to the Red Room. They started with a nice story but ended poorly, repeating mistakes from previous episodes. They use actual actors for voiceovers, yet portray characters' emotions differently. For instance, Bucky wasn't this soft even when he first met Steve Rogers or Red Guardian. For example, Bucky wasn't someone who was this soft even when he first encountered Steve Rogers. From the moment he first encountered Red Guardian, suddenly he turned into an innocent person. It wouldn't be possible for a cold-blooded soldier who commits murder without mercy to change this quickly. Because the man's brain was washed, he had to obey any command given to him. So this series really makes a lot of mistakes in handling the character's motivations and emotional transitions. This man we call the Winter Soldier almost killed Steve Rogers when he encountered him. He tried to kill Steve Rogers multiple times despite knowing that he was connected to his own past. Yes, I think providing certain key details somewhat saves the episode, but that doesn't change the fact that it's an extremely unnecessary episode, my friends. This episode is still considered decent, but the episode that will be released tomorrow is really going to be pointless. I hope they give us nice things in tomorrow's episode. At least I'm expecting details that are worth watching. The episode featuring the Winter Soldier and Red Guardian was originally supposed to be released in the second season. Since the third season was added later, they should actually show that it has any connection to this season. There was supposed to be an episode we needed to watch before the Thunderbolts movie, but after the Thunderbolts film was postponed, they had to release it in the third season. If you remember, they shared clips of this episode about a year ago. I wish they had released the Surtur vs. Avengers episode, but unfortunately they didn't.
Is that Bucky? It's a Winter Soldier. That guy's so cool. That's what I talk about!
That's not good.
Yes, friends, I hope you liked the content I prepared. If there are any other videos you'd like to see, don't forget to write them in the comments. That's all from me for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.